Welcome back to the Cutty and Govy show, downtown Boca Raton, Palm Beach, Delray Beach. We're here at Echo Studios, and today was the second day of La Colombe Coffee Shop at Boca Raton, Govy. What a great day. 123 cups, we're going to call it, in our second day of business. And what we got to do is in the mornings, guys, there's no cars in that parking lot. You can come in at 8 in the morning and you're going to get a spot right away. It's a great morning spot.
And we haven't even advertised. It's just word of mouth because of La Colombe coffee.
Well, a little social media.
Yeah, but La Colombe is carrying that's how good the coffee is.
I can't believe the amount of people that came in today and they would take one or two sips and they go, wow, this is really good coffee. There's a lot of coffee places. It's good coffee.
It's the Rolex of coffee.
Is it really?
It's the Rolex of coffee.
Wow.
So that's like, you go somewhere else and you're waiting. They don't even tell you what you're drinking. They don't tell you what brand it is, if it's like counter coffee or something like that.
What do you think about the second cup for free? You don't like that? They got to pay for a second cup?
Should we be discussing our business situation right now on our show? We can maybe come up with something like that on maybe Thursdays, second cup Thursday.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But I did have two people today that wanted a second cup. I didn't know what to do. I didn't charge them.
Right. But we could do like a second cup Thursday or something.
Yeah. Well, anyway, folks, as Govy predicted over and over and over again, my friend, or not my friend, I don't know what you want to call him, the guy I watch, P. Diddy, he ended up getting a sentencing date of May 2028, and this guy got caught drinking in jail. P. Diddy got caught drinking in jail. Now they're extending his settlement.
1 month.
Yeah, 1 month. Well, that's all, maybe 1 month.
I think he's getting. I think it's not fair to P. Diddy, to be honest with you. You're sitting around. He already is a marked guy as far as like, here's a celebrity, multi-millionaire.
Why is he drinking in jail?
Why? Because all the other prisoners.
Why? You're not allowed to drink in jail. You're not allowed to smoke in jail.
But did you see how they made it? It's not like someone snuck in a bottle of Tito's. What did they do? They took something. They had to wait 4 days for it to they made their own.
Yeah.
Like it's a guy.
Did it get him high?
It got him high. So
he's not allowed to get high.
Yeah, but you want to know something?
His whole crime was these freak-offs where everybody was all high and loaded.
Yeah, but everybody in his cell, in his pod, were getting high. They're offering him a drink. He's supposed to.
So if everybody jumps off the Brooklyn Bridge, you're supposed to do it too.
But he's not there for 1 month, and he could say, okay, be good for 1 month. He has 2 years in there right now. He's thinking 2 years. What's the difference if I'm drinking the water from inside a toilet? It's like they kept it.
Difference is another month in jail.
I just think, is he hurting anybody as he's in there? Like, is he hurting anybody?
Yes, because there's a program for drug addicts and whatever where they shave time off if they
Did they do that for him?
Well, he's in it. You get
that's a different. If he's in a program,
he's in a program to shave 8 months off it's like a rehab program.
That's a different story. If he wasn't in a program,
he's in a program.
Then I would say he's not no harm, no foul. If he's in a program,
he's in a program where you get shaved 8 months off if you're clean and sober.
You can't get your cake and eat it too. So he wants the program and not.
Govy, let me ask you a question. You're clean and sober how long?
5 years.
5 years. So you've been sober for 5 years. If you fell off the wagon next week, would it be so bad? The answer is yes.
Yeah.
You can't do it. P. Diddy is on a program.
I didn't know he was on a program.
Yeah.
But you know what? He has a tough 2 years ahead of him because, first of all, he's watching everybody else. I quit just because of health reasons where I couldn't do it. He's okay. He just wants, it just passes the time. You're sitting in, you got to do something to know. Look, why are people a lot of people hooked on crack? You know what? Your life is, you could be sitting in homeless. You take that hit of crack, you feel like you're Donald Trump.
I understand, but I'm going to take the other side. The guy was facing life in jail. He got 3 years more than he already served. I mean, come on.
They teased him, though. He thought he was getting out.
I know, but come on. You have 3 years instead of the rest of your life. I mean,
and losing all his money.
Right.
He didn't even really lose that much money.
Right. He probably made a lot of money because he wasn't out of jail spending money every day like he did when he was, walking around as a civilian.
You don't think he's going to make money when he comes out?
No.
And he tells about his memoir of what it was like in jail? How about three songs?
What was the name of Will Smith's last movie? What was the name of Mel Gibson's last movie?
Right.
Charlie Sheen. Have we seen him on any sitcoms lately?
No.
Okay, he's done. That's my prediction, folks. P Diddy, it's over. Is he
He-
gonna? Is it wait? Yeah, a musical artist has a better shot because he can write a great song and sing a great song, and it could. But people may not
you
listen to it.
You know what's crazy? Speaking with the music and everything, have you seen this thing on social media at all, where you can take an artist like Eminem, and they take his rap like song, and they put it to like rhythm and blues or
Or
jazz
country music
or
or
jazz,
something.
and it
Yeah,
comes out.
I haven't seen it.
It's unbelievable. Some of the stuff that you see, the crossover, is incredible. I mean, it really is.
Anyway, folks, since our last show, Mandami, how do you say it?
Mondani.
Mayor of New York, potential or next or whatever, mayor-elect, I guess.
Mayor-elect.
Mayor-elect of New York. Here he is, Mandami. And literally the day after he's elected, he's saying all kinds of stuff that he wasn't saying when he was trying to get elected.
Well, he has a problem now. The problem is basically he said that he was going to keep Tish, not Loretta Tish, Letitia, whatever.
Letitia
I'm sorry.
James, yeah.
But Tish is the police commissioner, and supposedly she's doing a great job. And he said he was going to keep her, but as it turns out, they're starting to have a little difference of opinion. Like one major thing is she thinks it's very important to keep the gangs in the data system to know who are gang members, and he doesn't think that that's fair. He thinks that that gives them that's like a deal breaker for her. So he might lose her, and
It's just insane. We're going to see this wrecking ball for the next 4 years
Bocelli,
if he
didn't
makes
you-
it.
the
Andre Bocelli said he's not doing a concert in New York. He's out. He's out. Andre Bocelli.
how about the big trucking company that said they're not delivering
That's gonna
goods
be-
there?
Yeah. You know, I say ultimately he tones down his rhetoric like Trump did in the second term. I think he's going to, once he gets in the job, I don't think he's going to carry on like this. He
Well, I
can't.
think he's going to try. I think what he's going
Do you?
to. I think what he's going to find out is every turn he does, he gets blocked. Like for instance, Hochul can sit there and just say, "You want free busing? How are you going to pay for it? How are you going to do this? Like they can make it where you can't do anything."
Right.
I mean, I think that's going to be his biggest problem.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting what he does with the schools and, what people can read in the schools.
How
I
about
mean,
these
does he have,
supermarkets or food stores that he wants to? He's going to lose all these bodegas that are basically
all the bodegas.
that are basically immigrants that are here that
Yeah.
are from all over the place. Does it bother you that
Yes.
does it bother you that a guy's 33 years old, lived in New York for 7 years of his life, and he's going to tell you and tell the people of New York on everything wrong in their city and their country and how he's going to make it better? Why not just do that to Uganda?
Well, and he's from Uganda. Well, the truth of the matter is enough people in New York felt he could do it. So that's what it is. They voted him in.
Well, that's because the melting pot now is getting to the point where you keep taking in so many people that aren't westernized. It used to be you came in here, you believed in the United States as being the right way, like capitalistic. Now you got people coming into our country because they want to, and then they're saying, let's be communist or let's be socialist. That's not the westernized way, and that's the problem.
I think I'm going to take the other side, Gabby. I think that, the three-way election blew it for him. Mondami won because there were, two people that were kind of sharing the same vote, the Republicans and Cuomo. So if the let's give a scenario. If the Republicans put up a moderate, really good candidate and Cuomo, it was a two-person race, don't you think that, the Republican would have won? Rudy Giuliani won.
And Bloomberg won as a
And
Republican.
Bloomberg, right.
The problem is I don't think anybody wants the job. It's like almost like, but they will know for the next time. That's why I look at Senator Chuck Schumer, who I think is horrible, by the way, only cares he's a self-serving guy for himself. I think that him not endorsing him is going to come back to help Schumer, because I think that his reelection comes up in a year and a half, 2 years, and I think he's going to sit there and he's going to see New York like go into disarray, and he's going to say, I wasn't AOC, I wasn't Hochul, I wasn't Hakeem Jeffries, I was the one guy who didn't back the guy.
Yeah.
And then they're going to say, maybe you're right. Maybe it could be the end of AOC. Maybe this is, will hurt some of the socialistic people, Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, I agree with Gavi. I think that, it could go either way. Mondami could also throw his support behind Chuck Schumer.
The problem that
Do you understand what I'm saying? If Mondami becomes popular, he could then endorse Schumer, and it would help Schumer, right?
it could. I just think the problem that you have right now, the Democratic Party has to find what they can do to help the American people, not help themselves. Like the Democratic Party.
Well, that's all the Democratic. Basically, that's what it stands for.
I mean, all I
the
heard.
People.
Are you tired that all you heard is Epstein, Epstein, Epstein? Like, let's put it this way: when Obama was president for 8 years, I know we're proud was 8 years. You didn't hear it. Now all of a sudden you hear it. So now let it go. Just let it go because now you're hearing it. I don't want to hear it.
But the other side is that last night I watched Trump sign the bill. The continuing resolution, whatever. His entire speech was trashing the Democrats rather than being conciliatory and saying, we finally got there. We have a continuing resolution. The government's back. The air traffic, go away on your Thanksgiving, fly your plane, do whatever you want to do. Instead of that, the entire 45 minutes he stood there and he just bashed
because
all he
wanted to let them know is if you're going to do something in a way for 43 days. What did you accomplish?
I understand that, but was that the right time and place? I mean, you're
signing because everybody's waiting daily. What did they accomplish? Why? You did all these. He watched someone. They voted against it 15 times. They never did it to any other president. It's this Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah, but the same argument was they voted for all this health care and whatever that they were fighting over 15 times, right? Trump took that away.
He didn't. They voted. The Democratic Party had restrictions. They voted of when it expired, not Republicans.
Well, that was
expired.
But that was like a continuing resolution.
No, from COVID.
Right.
It was supposed to be the Affordable Care Act,
right.
And now you gave subsidies to make it affordable.
Right.
And the only people getting rich on it was the healthcare workers. Matter of fact, that guy Luigi or whatever.
Mangione or something.
Yeah, that killed the healthcare worker. In a way, think about it. Trump's basically saying these healthcare executives are the ones that are benefiting.
Yeah, I mean,
they got to come up with a solution. Like Trump came out with he came out with an idea, not that it's going to be the right idea, to say, let me just give the money back to the people. Go get your own health care.
I mean, but that's his side. That's his opinion. Then the Democrats have their opinion. I mean, Chuck Schumer, whatever his cause was, in terms of or what he thought he was going to get out of this, he didn't get out of it. There's a winner and there's a loser.
The good news is, if you want to know for the next election, I mean, even midterms and everything, healthcare will be one of the main issues. So they got to get together and solve. And by the way, if Trump can solve healthcare, come up with something that works on both sides, then it's great for everybody. But
so they've been trying to do that since I'm alive. How are they going to do it?
Well, Obama got it through Affordable Care Act, and it wasn't
like
affordable.
$9,000 a year for somebody. It's really not affordable.
The first Trump derangement
There's
syndrome.
like deductible for like $9,000.
The first Trump derangement syndrome person that you got to witness is when Senator McCain was the deciding vote. He flew in across the country, sick as a dog,
right,
and gave him the thumbs down like he's Caesar. And that was basically just to say to Trump, there you go.
Well,
that was the first Trump.
I understand, but Trump did personally attack him and say you're not a hero if you're captured.
It
was a vindictive move, I think.
The whole country decided to take the whole country, make something that's not as good for the country because he was personally attacked.
Well, he didn't decide. 50 people or whatever voted for it. He was just one of the votes.
Shit, the one Republican.
Well, what are you going to do?
Because he cared about himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, he did have, he was vindictive against Trump. I mean, here Trump literally embarrassed the hell out of him. So he's not a hero. He was captured. Doesn't count. I would be pretty pissed off.
Okay, he called Ted Cruz, lying Ted Cruz.
Yeah, that's different.
And now they're getting along. So Marco Rubio could be the greatest.
Little fingers Rubio or whatever.
Little hands. But meanwhile, he's a great Secretary of State. I mean, he really did attack. How about the girl from Hewlett Packard? Didn't he call her like?
Carl. What was her name?
Like a dog face or something.
Yeah. She was. That was.
I mean, how do you do that on that?
Carlina. What was her name?
Yeah.
Anyway, Gavi, a fun subject. I watch a lot of Instagram, so I can see you, the podcast superstar, on there all the time because your reels are blowing up weekly. It's insane how many views you have. So I'm watching Elon Musk. They say it's fake or it
is.
He's coming out with a phone. Elon Musk from Starlink.
Right.
I mean, it look like an Apple phone. It'll have Starlink. It can drive your car. It can make you lunch. I don't know what else it can do. But think about it. If Elon Musk, with all his interconnecting companies with X and Starlink and autonomous cars, he now comes out with a phone that can operate all these things, I think Apple's in trouble.
Without electricity.
Yeah,
Because
without, right.
It had like you could
Right.
use solar energy and you can
Right.
survive.
You don't have to charge it. Yeah, I mean, look, don't you think if he can do it, it's amazing?
It would be amazing. By the way, he would take over the phone industry.
He would totally take. I would run that division for you.
But then again, I think it's AI, but on that situation. But at the same time, the guy just got awarded from the board of directors $1 trillion if he
What's the
if he
difference?
reaches. Well, you got to
Do you
bet
have
on
a problem with that?
No,
I don't.
No, what I'm trying to say is maybe this is true because because if the board of directors are willing to give a guy $1 trillion, he has to do something to earn $1 trillion.
Right.
Changing the phone industry, that's your first start.
Well, let's just think about it. He has the technology.
Yes.
He has the success story, the brights, the brilliance to come up with an idea like that, right? He certainly has the money.
He controls the satellites.
He has the money. He controls the satellites. I mean, he knows how to make these batteries that last forever. I mean,
Right.
come on. The guy has a leg up on everybody.
And to take $1 trillion, he has to do something.
Right. He has to do true. So, and not only that, I mean, he's an expert in supply chain management, which Apple has problems with in terms of how he gets his
They
equipment.
said
for his
within
cars.
5 years you'll have a robot. Everybody will have a robot.
And that could be part of the phone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So let me ask you: if you have a robot and he tells you got to get my phone so you could have a robot,
Right.
I would throw my Apple away,
Right.
and say, okay, I need this phone for my robot.
But he's not going to do a phone second class either. You're going to get a great phone. You're
Yeah.
really going to get a fun phone. It's going to do.
By the
Even
way,
the Starlink thing is insane.
If robots were around, and right now you're single, would
Right.
you have a robot in
Sure.
your? Would you have a robot in
Absolutely.
your? Really?
Imagine the amount of money I can save on dinner.
well,
I'm just kidding.
How
you
funny
got me.
would
It's
it be?
my pleasure to treat anybody for
Wouldn't
dinner.
it be funny if I came to your condo and all of a sudden I saw you sitting on the sofa with your robot
Yes.
watching a game,
Why not?
and he would be able to carry on a conversation?
Sure. How many do you think we'll be alive to see that?
Yes, 5 years. Would you be?
Yeah, in 5 years maybe, but 5 years. That's kind of a short amount of time to come up with that technology. I know they have prototypes, but really to come out with this thing in 5 years, that's pretty remarkable.
Do you
Where it
think
can
in 10
literally-
years that a robot would be driving your mom around if she needed to go somewhere in the
Yeah.
car?
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
Would a robot? Could you have sex with a robot?
Yeah, I think they will be.
Really?
Yeah.
It'll put the short the porn industry.
I
I mean, if that happens, short the porn industry. What?
That's recession proof.
If robots are replacing, people in porn? I mean, that's pretty remarkable if that happens.
Do you think that would hurt would it hurt the hospitality business with restaurants and people going out on dates if they like their robot? If you could have a
That's
dinner with
funny.
your robot and it carried on a great conversation with him, you're throwing business ideas off, and the robot's going back and forth to you. Do you think that might take one of your dinners?
No, I enjoy having dinner with, the girl I've been having dinner with, and that's fun. I would rather do that than a robot. How's
Really?
that for an answer, Kevin?
Really? You like to hear about the day that they had and everything like that? Really?
Do you ever see that Seinfeld episode where Jerry's thinking of getting married and Kramer says to him, comes into his apartment and goes, Jerry, what are you thinking about?
Yeah. He goes, you can't watch TV. You got to share the bathroom. Yeah, all those different things.
Yeah. It's a man-made prison, Jerry. It's a man-made prison.
It is. I got a quick question for you. The BBC right now.
Right.
So the BBC.
It's really not. You really don't read that much about it. It's not like. Is it like a?
This is big news right now.
Is it? Okay.
It's big news because the top person and the second in command both resigned.
Right.
They got caught splicing a tape together of an hour apart to make Trump look bad, and they
So
wanted
this is the British Broadcasting.
they're
company.
national. It's like they're PBS.
Right.
And they got caught to hurt Trump, to also hurt the election. They did this right before the 2020 election. So they're trying to say it's election interference.
But what's the penalty? What's the result? I mean, what comes out of this?
The result is another.
It's a lawsuit, or I don't
well,
understand
the
the whole
lawsuit.
thing.
Well, what it is England right now arrests you. In that country, you're not allowed to say anything disparaging about anybody. They could arrest you.
Oh,
If you
really?
went up to Prince Harry or Prince William and you said, Princess Kate
It's not a
cheated
civil thing.
cheated in school, you could be sued and lose, like slander, like on everything.
Right.
Where here, they actually lied about Trump to try to cost him the election. How can another country's public broadcasting company, basically, get involved. Like, how would you look at England? Like, right now, don't you think if you're the country, let's say Trump was vindictive. Couldn't that hurt the people of England if you're in a business, if you're an exporter in the United States, and maybe Donald Trump gets a little vindictive and says, I want to do something?
So you don't think the United States manipulates other countries' elections? You don't think
Yes.
we ever do that?
Yes, we
Well,
just
is that
did it. We just did it in Argentina.
So how do you know that's not the BBC isn't part of the English government and the English?
Well, now you're
government?
finding out, is it? Now you're going to find
Yeah,
out.
you're going to find out. Isn't the prime minister like a super liberal guy?
Yeah.
And he hates Trump. He can't stand Trump.
Well, he's starting to like him now because he's starting to realize he has to like kiss the ring a little
Right,
bit.
I
Because the
understand.
rest of Europe,
Yeah.
so did Macron of France.
No, you're right there. But I mean, think about it. It could. The United States tries to manipulate election. You don't think in Venezuela they're going to try and manipulate the election?
Well, the
or,
big thing in
or
Venezuela
Mexico,
right now
they
is
don't try and manipulate the.
Xi is now helping out Venezuela because they're scared of Trump going into Venezuela. It's going to be interesting to see Trump go into Venezuela.
He won't.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. That means he's starting
Have
a war.
I been wrong in a long time?
You haven't been wrong, but that means he's starting a war.
He's not going to start a war because this guy's going
If
to...
you overthrow a dictator, if you murder a
He
dictator,
already lost the election and didn't leave. The guy lost an election and didn't leave. It's not going to take that long. It's going to be fast.
Yeah,
Boom.
it'll be fast.
And the
It's-
person that beat him out on the Nobel Peace Prize, the woman,
Yeah.
she's going to be the president.
All right, we'll see if Trump does it. I say he tries to do like some CIA operative, something or other, where he's not, on the front page of the paper that he overthrew a ruthless
He's
dictator.
not going to take out these ships one at a time. I
Why?
mean, because it's just not. How many times do you have to take out these ships one at a time?
Why not?
He made the deal with China to stop the fentanyl from being produced in Mexico, which is
Let me ask you a question. You're an international drug dealer, and you're running your drugs across whatever water bottle you have water.
I'm not
that
taking
is.
the water anymore.
You're not doing that.
No.
Trump won. He
Right.
blew a couple. It's not like how many boats does he has to take out anymore. It's like he took out whatever 5 or 10, and that's it. Nobody's in that water right now. You're not even fishing in that water.
No, I agree.
You're not sunbathing in
I
that
agree.
water.
And by the way, even if you're the neighboring country like Colombia, I'm not doing it. He attached Colombia to this whole thing.
Right. I'm with you.
So, how about this thing with prop betting, with gambling?
That's a great subject. Well, you're the expert, Govy. I mean, I just think, we talked about it a little with our superstar podcast executive director, Cole. And you say there'll be no, you can expand on it, but you'll be no more prop bets. That's your opinion. My opinion is, I don't think, a quarterback, how many points he scores or whether he gets a touchdown. I think you're still going to have prop bets on that.
I think there will be no more individual prop bets, especially in college. I've talked to an executive in the NBA, not New York Knicks, just so you know, but in the NBA, and I talked to someone in college that's in the athletic department. The bigger problem is in college because in pro sports, most of the contracts now in all pro sports, they're all millionaires. Every single one is a multimillionaire. In college, they're actually in the classroom with you. So in pros, if you're married, you go home to your wife, your family, you drive to work, you show up, you do your practice. It's a business. It's like your work. In college, you're sitting there in a classroom with a friend of yours.
Do they really go into a classroom?
Sure.
They
go into it. They have to take a regular
They have
class.
to take classes.
100%.
You're the star of whatever basketball team. You're taking classes?
Yeah, because you know what? So you're not going to maybe take calculus or something like that, or statistics, or maybe economics class, but you might take a speech, public speaking, because maybe one day
Right.
you
Okay,
might be
that
you
makes
might be in
sense.
TV.
Sure.
You got to do.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, you're sitting there in the classroom with your friend Brian, and Brian says to you, "Hey, do you realize like right now the odds are you only have to rush for 2 yards?" And he's thinking to himself, "That's just one scramble. All I have to do is scramble, come out 2 yards, 10,000."
How did this all start? When did prop bets start?
Prop betting started when you used to bet with a bookmaker. The
Right.
bookmakers are now passé. It's sort of like taxi drivers. When someone said, "What happened to the taxi cabs?" Because Uber came.
Right.
Well, now you have a phone, and any kid 10 years or older, whatever, can now bet with the Hard Rock Casino, Vegas. You're making all these prop bets. I mean, it started with like fantasy football, to tell you the truth, because it used to be who won the game. Did you bet on the Eagles? What was the over-under? Now, all of a sudden, these kids are like, I have I have Chase as my wide receiver, and I have him getting more than 100 yards. I mean, I never even cared about personal stats before.
Well, you didn't care about, let's say, back in the day, some great running back was 1,000 yards back then. Remember, that was it when it was a shorter season. Wasn't it 1,000 yards
For the season?
Yeah,
but for the game. But now you have experts now that are betting on certain prop bets. For instance, tennis. You could take tennis. When you used to make a bet, you had to bet before the event started. Is that like before a
Right.
game started? You had to make your bet.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to get your bet in now.
But I don't have a problem with that. After one set, I want to make it different.
Well, the
kind of
odds
bet.
change.
Yeah.
So now, what happens if all of a sudden someone lets you know that you're a tennis player? It's 5 sets or best out of 3, and he's going to he wants to, and it's the first round, so he's much better than the other guy. What happens if all of a sudden he just wants to get a little workout in, and he loses the first set? No big deal. He's just going to win the next 2 sets. The odds are much lower. So what happens if all of a sudden maybe the guy's going to lose a set?
Oh, you're saying if on a prop bet he's going to lose the set, which is very unpredictable, the odds would be
now
very
all of a sudden
great.
the odds go way down
Yeah.
because he has to. Now all of a sudden you're like, great.
Yeah.
Like the Djokovic, for instance, in tennis. Do you know his record after dropping the first 2 sets of a major? That means he has to win 3 sets in a row. He's like 27-2.
Yeah, but what are the odds that or who's the decider what prop bets can be legitimate and not legitimate? Who's the decider of if you're gambling, if there are going to be some prop bets, not all the prop bets? Who's the one that decides which are the some that you can do prop bets on?
The commissioners of these sports.
They're really going to get into that?
They're
The
going to get into it
commissioners
because
of sports that have nothing to do with betting now are going to get involved in
they
this?
thought that betting could be the downfall of all sports, but then they got pressured, and
Right.
once gambling became legalized,
Right.
they kind of embraced it, where they never embraced it before. And it started with there was a basketball player for Toronto. His last name was Porter. His brother plays for the Denver Nuggets, and he was a backup. And the guy basically was like he only played like 5 minutes a game, so like 1 rebound would be like his prop bet. This guy threw it. He had to get like 1 rebound in this game. And after 4 minutes, he took himself out of the game because he made like he had a headache. Well, all of a sudden, all these FanDuels and all these things, they're all linked. So now they see that like $400,000 was bet on a backup player for the Toronto Raptors getting
crazy
1
amount of
rebound.
money.
It's easy. It pops up because it's like a red flag. Like if I told you like the backup wide receiver on the Eagles has to get 3 yards a game, and you saw there was $1 million on that,
Right.
you're starting to think like, whoa, how did that happen?
Right. Maybe it's a relative. And the ball player told the relative that,
You can make some money on me.
Yeah, you can make some money. I'm going to play this week. Maybe he told him was, Dad, I'm going to play this week.
Not forget the player. How about if you're the guy that how about if you are the chef, the team cook for the Philadelphia Eagles, say, and you're sitting there and you find out because you're amongst all the players that A.J. Brown is at like 30%, and he probably might just play the first series, and then he's not going to play.
You can rig it.
At least it's easy. I mean, everybody knows.
Sure.
I wouldn't know that, but the cook knows that he's not playing.
Well, how about Big Dom on the Eagles?
Big Dom knows everything.
Big Dom's he could be a leak for money. You could.
But I like Big Dom. I think Big Dom is the best.
I'm not Big Dom. If you're watching, don't
He's the
come
best.
after me. But he's a guy that knows all the. Bucky could get to a guy in a similar position.
Big Dom runs Philadelphia. I'm not kidding. This guy runs Philadelphia.
Really?
I mean, he can drive down the street with his Escalade.
Is that what he drives, an Escalade?
Yeah, he drives down the street. Cars move off to the side. He can go.
That is funny.
He runs the city.
How much does Big Dom make?
I don't know, but he's an executive now.
Do you think he makes $500,000 a year?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he's an executive with the Eagles.
Interesting. It was like a position created over 3 or 4. I mean, he's been back all the way back to I don't know.
Well, we took over from this guy Butch. Butch used to be a
Andy
Philadelphia.
Reid, at least, right?
Yeah, well, this guy was a Philadelphia police officer, Bush, and Butch used to drive all the Philadelphia commissioners. And then when the last commissioner, like Tucker or something, left, he all of a sudden got hooked up with the Eagles. And the next thing you know, the Eagles said, hey, we have all these players that were in trouble. All these players get in trouble where they had a gun.
Yeah.
They said, we need a guy in our thing to, like, bail you out of all this stuff. That's how the job came.
Yeah, but then he was throwing punches at a football game. I mean, he's just not guarding the players anymore. He's defending them.
Well, the guy
Last
threw a
year
punch,
they
he was right
suspended. I kind of thought that Big Dom started it, didn't he?
No, the guy kind of pushed Big Dom, and Big Dom
Then
pushed him
Big
back.
Dom, it's okay to swing then.
Yeah, he pushed him back.
It's always smart to swing at a guy with a helmet on. I mean, what are you getting?
I don't know, but let me tell you something. He got me even more. They sell T-shirts now. I think even in the store that says Big
Right.
Dom shirts.
Oh, really?
In the actual official Eagles
Interesting.
shirts.
Anyway, Gavi, prior to getting off of sports, prior to Trump, every week the United States was giving Ukraine $5 billion, $10 billion, $7 billion, $9 billion. Every week they were giving them more money. I don't recall 1 week where Trump said we have to give them money. I mean, or were they stole this money for 2 or 3 years and now they don't need any more money?
Well, how come I haven't even heard about Ukraine in like literally 3 weeks? I haven't even heard.
Is the war still going on? Or is everybody just broke and exhausted?
How about Palestine? Free Palestine. They're like, you don't hear that. But yet you have in Nigeria, you have a cleansing of the Christians, that they're like a genocide.
Right.
You don't see anything like that, but it is. Ukraine, what happened to that?
It disappeared. Or, probably Vlad, now that he has a suit, just said, I have so much money I don't need anymore. I don't know how I can hide. His accountant said, we can't hide anymore. I mean, you're going to have to stop taking, he took $300 billion.
Crazy. And by the way, remember when Biden said, if you want that $1 billion, if you're not getting unless you fire that guy, that was a lousy billion. Now, how many billions?
$300 billion between America and us. I mean, America and Europe.
Right.
Yeah, $400 billion. A lot of money.
By the way, have you seen what Gaza looks like right now? They just had a guy from the New York Post, a writer, journalist, went there. I mean, it
looks like Swiss cheese.
We said they would turn it to sand like years ago. There's nothing. It's unlivable.
It's crazy.
Where do they live? Where do they go?
I don't know. It's like anything else. It's like in this town here, they open a brand new restaurant and it's packed from day one.
That's what you're comparing?
Yeah,
you're comparing it to a brand new restaurant in Boca Raton?
Yeah.
So tell me.
Yeah, no, I'm just, you're comparing like.
Where do you go? Say you're 65 years old. I'm
just saying you're comparing a flattened Gaza to the old Gaza. And I'm just saying, people get asked where everybody lives. Everybody gets over it fast and finds a place to go. It's my analogy, which is a lousy one that you just acknowledged, is there's a brand new restaurant that opens and it's packed. It's insane. You can barely get in. But yet you go into all the old restaurants and they're still packed. So, people find a place to go.
I look at it more like a bridge that they tell me is out of commission for 9 months for repair. That's like, I can't believe I got to drive 10 minutes to the next bridge. Right. They don't have a bridge. They don't have anything. They don't even have running water.
Yeah, but nobody lives there anymore.
So where do they live? No one's taking them in.
Nah, people took them in. They went somewhere. I mean, they all have relatives in some country. Maybe who knows where they went.
Dearborn, Michigan?
Yeah, they might have gotten into America. Who knows?
So how about this policy right now, where in Florida especially, the illegal immigrant, well, actually, I don't know if he was illegal. The guy that got into the accident, the truck driver.
Right.
That
California.
Yeah, he came in illegally. But they gave him a license anyway. But the thing is, you have to be able to speak English and read, and he didn't. And he got the accident that killed that family because he didn't see the sign and made the U-turn. Do you know California? They just stopped. They just took away 17,000 trucking licenses.
Wow, because of this incident? That's
and they're
pretty
being
cool.
sued.
Good.
And Newsom is being sued, and the state of California by the Florida Attorney General, because in here you're not allowed to drive a truck if you're illegal and if you can't speak English or can't read English for the street.
That's in Florida?
That's in Florida.
Okay.
So they're saying that you're giving licenses to California and you're letting these drivers come into Florida. You have to say only for the state of California. So they're going to start stopping them on certain states, checkpoints. And they're just going to say you got to get out of the truck and they will stop you from going across.
That's
17,000.
But that's remarkable that California is making a U-turn and they're getting normal. That sounds very normal thing to do. I mean, this guy killed all these people.
Well, how about that? There's 17,000
That's what
people.
I mean. It's an incredible.
Well, how did you let 17,000 people?
Oh, that's your point. I see what you're saying.
Like they didn't do the guidelines. The guidelines were you have to speak English, you have to pass the test. 17,000 people didn't pass the test correctly. This guy failed it 4 times.
That's really remarkable. Can you even imagine driving a tractor trailer? Have you ever looked at those 53-foot long tractor trailers? Do you think you could get in the front of that thing and drive it around through a city?
Let me ask you, if you came from absolutely nothing and you came to this country,
Yeah.
and some guy said, "Listen,
Okay,
I
mean,
pay
I'd
you
learn, I
I
guess.
pay you $100,000 a year to drive this tractor trailer. Can you drive a tractor trailer?"
Yes.
What would you say?
I can figure it out. But I'd say that in Spanish.
Right. So that's what they said. I'll figure it out, and that's the problem that you kind of have.
I figure it out in Spanish. No, look, but
One day, it's not like the guy's going to do brain surgery.
But that
and say, "I'll figure it out."
17,000 people is a big number. I didn't understand your
They
hook
took
there,
over
but
they took
I
over
get
the
it.
trucking industry. They're like,
Well, yeah, it's families and whatever, and they say you can make $100,000 a year. Take this job. It's easy to.
you sit by yourself.
Yeah, you
drive-
don't have the requirements of whatever it is to get this thing.
That's like pinch it, like, you know. And right now, it's funny. You look at this thing. The union, the DNC, is making everybody go back to work in Washington, and you have to go. You have to report
You go back to office. You're saying.
back to the office. They're freaking out that you have to go back. I mean, this is how many years after COVID is this that you're finally making?
Yeah, it's like 5 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a long time.
I mean, there's so many businesses that rely on workers in a
Right.
city. I mean, it's crazy.
So now, all these cities that were lacking in demand for commercial real estate, now it's going to start picking up, you're saying. If Washington's doing it, other cities will
Other
do it.
cities have to do it.
So now the commercial real estate business, guys, folks, ladies, that was in the tank, you're saying it's going to come back in the
Right.
office market. Interesting.
You being in the real estate business,
Right.
how do you feel about Trump suggesting maybe a 50-year mortgage?
Well, people historically move every 7 years. That's the statistic. I don't know if that works. I mean, it's just
It lowers your monthly.
Yeah, I know it does. I just, and I don't know what the numbers are, the percentage. Did your parents live in a house for more than 15 or 20 years?
Yeah.
They did?
I mean, well, I think the demographics change. I think that when you have kids,
Right.
and you put a kid sometimes in first grade, second grade, whatever, sometimes you see it through high school, and then starts to 7 years,
Right.
7 years, 7 years.
But, historically, I think that people are moving, moving quicker for different kinds of jobs because of technology. And I don't know.
I think where you live. I think in Florida, there's so many different lifestyles. So someone might say you're in a gated community in a country club. Someone says you live by the ocean. Someone says you live maybe by the Everglades. There's all different types of living. But when you're in Philadelphia, like, you're in it. It's funny. My friend just flew. He's a doctor in Miami, and he had to fly up to see his son who's going to college. And the pilot, when it was landing in Philadelphia, the pilot said, "Welcome to reality." Which is
funny.
like, Philadelphia's reality. You go there, but when you come to Florida and you're on an airplane, everybody's in their
paradise,
Hawaiian
yeah.
shirts, they're singing, they're on vacation.
Right.
Philadelphia is the real world.
That is horrible. Welcome to reality. Anyway, Gabby, you don't want to pick any football? You're done with your picks for the year?
Well, there's too much of this gambling going on, but you know what? I like the
Big Eye told you tonight, bet hockey. You betting hockey?
Well, I got a tip tonight, and I'm like, "What's the tip?" Like, and he goes, "This is a good one." So I'm like expecting something juicy, like, there's NFL on,
Right.
there's
If you're
college
betting
football
hockey,
on,
you're really
there's
down and
NBA
out.
on, and he says, "Bet the first period of the Washington Capitol Florida game," and he's a diehard Florida Panther fan,
Right.
and he said, "Take the Capitals in the first period."
Oh, God.
That means you're a degenerate if you're betting the
Yeah,
first
if you
period
bet,
of a hockey game.
Will the puck land on the top side or the bottom side?
But anyway, I like the Philadelphia Eagles over the Detroit Lions on Sunday Night Football.
Right, and that's 2 weeks, Monday night and then a Sunday night. That's interesting. They mix it up. Do you think for a ball player, it's a difference whether they play it day and night? I mean, do you think they care?
National TV, I think, makes a difference.
National TV, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
The endorsements, the stuff, the prop bets.
Right. So Eagles had 2 night games, Sunday and Monday.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Anyway, folks, we were off last week. We didn't even talk about it. Gavi went to St. Bart's.
I did. It was unbelievable.
He
St.
took
Bart's-
2 planes, the little plane, and guess what? Cutty was very upset because all the planes went off in time, and Gavi had smooth sailings on either side of his trip. I wanted him in complete misery.
Well, you got one thing right. Every dinner was 3.5 hours.
I know. And how expensive was it?
It was a lot.
I mean, the whole
But lucky
place.
for me, my brother paid, so I was okay.
Yeah, but that's an expensive island, isn't it?
Well, he paid. So
Yeah,
it
so you
wasn't,
didn't even
it
care.
wasn't, but it was. But you feel like you're in Europe. You know, you do feel
You
like
kind of are.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has. There's no big.
Did you go on any of the topless beaches, Govy?
We were on a beach. Like our house was actually on the beach.
Do you see any topless people? Women?
No, I had to walk to the.
Did you have lunch at that Nikki Beach?
I did Sunday.
What you think of that?
That was like, well, we're used to Miami too,
Yeah.
so it's not like we don't
Yeah.
see anything in Florida.
Yeah.
You know, if you're from Philadelphia, it's like a
I just,
culture shock.
you know, I never understood the whole thing. I mean, it's, you know, it's like kind of a shitty place. I mean, it's not even nice.
Yeah, and they bring
And the
out your
prices
sushi.
are insane. And, you know, what is it? The people, the pretty people?
Yeah, we had. I liked. It was just very relaxing.
Right.
And
And what you
everything.
think of the food at Nikki Beach on a scale of 1 to 10? Same
7.
parts, folks.
7.
Yeah.
It was
that's
a 7.
That's a 7.
Expensive, long thing. But you know
A
what?
notch above a Marriott kind of food.
Yeah. Well, you land in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, you take this little putter jumper thing.
Yeah, that plane,
Xanax, and that plane is what you need
right?
to do.
And then you land and you're off. And and so I never got the backstory. Did you make it with the 50-pound luggage? That's your limit.
I did. I had to give a couple pounds to my wife to borrow of my limit so she could bring some shoes.
And the bags got through. You didn't have to take any out and leave it in the Puerto Rican airport.
Yeah, everything. By the way, and customs there. If I would have known that customs is no big deal,
Why? What happened?
it's nothing. They just wave you going into St. Bart's. I would have taken gummies.
Gave, you don't drink anymore.
I don't drink anymore, but a gummy would be good.
Would you had a better time than you had? I
No,
think
I would've-
you had a great time.
I had a great time, but I would like to take a
It's
gummy.
great, folks. Gavi goes away. I don't answer his calls.
Yeah.
You know, he keeps calling and calling. I don't answer. I'm like, I'm busy.
Not only do you
Oh,
not
you're
answer,
working.
And every time I call you, you say it's a Chamber of Commerce weather
Oh,
here.
gorgeous. Why'd you have to schlep on 2 planes,
Yeah,
pay
you just like me
thousands
that
of dollars? Here it's paradise. What are you leaving in the high season?
I tell you, I got killed in the stock market today.
Yeah,
You
I'm
smile and
happy.
you laugh.
Yeah, oh my God,
You
that's
sure
great.
do like to see misery, don't you? I don't understand it.
Just on you, Gavi. All right, folks.
We're going to see you next week at our coffee shop.
Yeah.
We're going to
Next
be at
week's
La
show.
Colombe.
Yeah.
That's where we'll do it from.
Next week's show at the
One
La
location.
Now, Gavi, what time are we going to do it? Because it's so loud and bustling in there. I mean,
Let's do it after we close.
at the end of the day.
At the
But,
end
you
of
know, the lights are on. People see you, podcast superstar. They're going to want to get in. La Colombe Coffee, they're going to want to try and get in.
I got my pen. I can sign autographs.
You can sign autographs. All right, everybody, have a great week.
See you later.